Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, anglers of all ages, welcome, my friends, to this week's Tackle Box. I want to make sure everything is good. I'm on new scenes. I think we're all right. We're not doing... I'm looking as good as it's going to get. Welcome. Thank you for coming to join me. My name is JaxyBeard. We are joined this week by none other than Gaz and Rushy themselves. Gentlemen, what a pleasure to have you back. Thank you for coming out. How's it going?
Hello, welcome. Good to be back.
It's always a pleasure.
It's great, thanks. It feels like it's been a while as well.
It has. It has been a while. So kind of nice to get back here out onto Norway. Hello, chat. Hello, everybody. We're fishing this week for the King of the Catch target, the Ide. I haven't caught one of these yet. I'm really looking forward to this. I've been picking these gentlemen's brains on the best setups. You're both looking rather dapper, by the way. Look at Rushy. Man, you're looking pretty good over here, pal. Not bad.
Are we talking in real life here, or are we talking?
I was talking a game, but looking at the screen, chat, you're not looking too bad, my friends. I can see I'm a little low. Let me fix this. So, folks, we're going to go over a few things today. There was a patch that recently just dropped. We're going to touch base on that, the ins and the outs, the do's and the don'ts. And we're going to try and catch some of these fish. We're going to talk about, well, we got a whole bunch of things. So kick back, relax, grab your foldable lawn chair, and let's get some lines in the water. How are we doing, man? What a gorgeous spot. I guess we should show folks where we are first. Right now, we are on the Norway Reserve. If you haven't checked it out, you absolutely should. We're down here in the bottom left corner, just past the big lake. So it's not too far of a drive. You want to come and throw your line into the lake, come on down. This is where we're at. Be aware, it's a travel to get here if you haven't got it unlocked. If you do, it's a quick pop over, but it's very scenic coming along the rivers. It's one of the things I love about Norway. Absolutely love it.
It's worth the journey as well, because you can get some decent sized Ide up here as well. There's also grayling and Arctic char up here, but yeah, I think you can potentially even get diamond around here as well. Don't confirm, definitely gold, but potentially diamond as well. But I don't think we're fishing for diamond today, but we'll do our best.
Letting the cat out of the bag on that one. Attaboy. Nice. Those are the things you get when you're here on the streams, my friends. So, hey, let me ask you, what do you got going on here? You're float fishing, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good thing about an Ide. It's quite flexible compatibility. So I'm just rocking with some cheese at the moment and just float fishing. Just hoping for the best at the moment. I've seen a couple, but I don't know if I've got the right size hook at the moment. I might need to increase it a little bit just to increase my chances of some bites.
Okay. Do you mind revealing your setup for the folks, just to give a little insight on what the devs are currently using? I know there's lots of options, but
well, it varies based upon account, and this is one of my accounts where I'm actually skinned, unfortunately, because it's not one of my dev builds. So I'm currently rocking a maiden with a Korea reel. Okay. So I've only got a 1.5 kilo load line, so I can't get the biggest things at the moment. So it's not ideal, but it's all I can afford right now, because it's one of those where we're in a different build. I've got one account with everything, and yeah, it just as you know, it takes a while if you want to own everything, especially if you're trying to get all the best gear.
A disclaimer: I knew that you were on let's call it a beginner setup. And my point on this, folks, is it doesn't matter where you're at in the game. There's always a will and there's a way. You can do it when you first get started. You can do it when you're a master angler. So here we have by far one of the top men in the game, and he's out there in a beginning setup, and he's going to be slaying. How about you, Gaz? What do you got going on over here, buddy? That's an interesting rod.
This is quite embarrassing, because you've got like two of the developers of the game. We have got the entire debug options at our mercy. We can have the most money, the most rods, the best rods, the biggest, best setup, and the pair of us are on like starter rods with like the lowest accounts and stuff like that. Yeah, so I again am on a burner start account. It's not like my proper one, so I don't have much money on it, which we only realised quite late on. So I am rocking the best of the best greenhorn starter rod. You've got to love that.
It's so not the size that matters.
No, and so far I'm the only one who's caught a fish in here out of the three of us. So I'm really got the best setup.
Touche.
So yeah, rocking that with running a bit of cheese as the bait. So yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Very nice. Very nice. I love it. I absolutely love it. Looking at the size of the rod is just fantastic. Well, folks, I'm speaking of cheese, I might be cheesing this a little bit. I went overkill. I absolutely love they were DLC rods, but this is my favorite. I've only got the one set up right now, is the Gilgamesh. It's just something about it. It just the Gilgamesh with the Lurcher rod. I know you can match them up, and you do you, and let us know in Discord what sort of setup you prefer. But I'm also running, I've got the 8 kilogram, which is overkill. I got the 5 size hook for the jig head, and I'm running some plastics. I got the grub going right now. I'm gonna toggle between these and see how we do. But yeah, so let's get the lines going, man. Oh, hold on. I have to change my DPI. So big patch. Well, I shouldn't say big patch. A nice hot patch after the big patch. You guys got that out pretty quick. Thank you from the community. The turnaround's always fantastic. It always blows my mind how quick you guys are able to make this happen. Do we want to talk a little bit about that? How it's gone over? Any concerns you may have?
Yeah,
with the hotfix patch.
With the hotfix, yeah, we'll get into the other patch, but I think that's, you guys have been all over the Discord, and you're really making things happen right now. So I'd love to bring some light to it.
Yeah, I guess again, the reason we put the hotfix out is because we knew there was a few performance issues, not for everyone, but for a subsection of the audience that were happening, and there was also 1 or 2 crashes that we noticed we introduced. So we fixed the crashes, we fixed 1 or 2 issues. I think one of them was with auto jigging as well. We fixed a little issue there, and we put in a fix to help improve performance, which did help improve performance, but ultimately there is a specific issue that seems to be happening at the moment on certain setups and in certain circumstances where you will be just playing the game normal at your normal performance frames per second rate, and then suddenly it'll drop down to about 4 or 5 frames a second. We thought we'd got a fix in for it, but unfortunately it seems like we haven't. However, we're working with the community now, and you guys have been really, really helpful with this, giving us lots of information so we can help track it down. We've got our developers working on that as we speak, to hopefully put a fix in for that fairly soon. So you should see another hot fix in the coming days that will be specifically just to fix this one issue. So apologies, and please bear with us. It's a really tricky one. We haven't got any firm reproduction steps, so it's always a little bit trickier to solve the issues right now. But with all the information that the community are giving us via Discord and Steam forums, it's really helping us. So again, if you have any information on that, feel free to jump in and get on the post, because it helps us track it down. But in development, we've got a few leads on it. We think we can see it happening, but we're just trying to figure out the best way of fixing it. So yeah, it's a work in progress, but hopefully it will be resolved fairly soon, and everyone can get back to fishing in nice performance ways.
Beautiful, beautiful. I did peruse the community this morning, and I saw that actually, all in all, it seemed to really help a lot of folks. And so if you are being affected by this, as Gaz has said, in the Steam forums, in the Discord, there's location where you can just give us any information, preferably your PC specs and what you were doing leading up to this, because that can really help sleuth it out. But all in all, hot patch seems to really have helped a lot. So kudos. In regards to that, though, my friends, these gentlemen have been working hard on this, and they've taken a pause to come out and hang out with us here today because they haven't seen you all in a while. They haven't had their lovely faces on our screen. So we may have to cut their time short through the stream. We'll just see how it goes. But like, these guys are kind of instrumental in this stuff happening. So if they have to leave, I'm sure you understand. Awesome. Awesome. So before we get into the big patch, because I do want to talk about that, I don't know if you were able to do it, Rushy. We were talking about some of the stats you were finding and stuff, and then I see in chat how many sidewinders were caught this week. Did you have any? I should have asked you before stream. I hate to put you on the spot. Was there any little fun stats you were able to pull through that?
I've been digging through the data recently, just kind of looking at what everyone's doing, because we had this fantastic sale over the past couple of weeks, and we've seen tons of new players come to the game, which has been fantastic to see. And I've been busy watching and observing what's been going on. But yeah, I mean, I did see a couple of interesting ones. Just some of the bigger numbers always catch your eyes. Like we've had over 100 million casts successfully land in the water now inside the game. It's just great to see that many digits on a number towards an action that's happening in game.
Holy. Wow. I would say that Wedge, if Wedge is watching, he's probably responsible for a quarter of those. One of our passionate community members. Holy, that is some big numbers. What do you think of that, chat? Wow, that's a little crazy.
I've been looking at player levels as well, trying to see again how far some people have got. And again, I need to double check some of these stats, but when you start seeing player levels in the thousands, you start to think, whoa, how many hours of people put into the game in some instances? Because I mean, we see some of the stats even on Steam, and you see people putting in like hundreds, if not 1,000 plus hours, and you're like, wow, that's some fantastic commitment. And yeah, we're definitely seeing people kind of reach 1,000, level 2,000, that sort of region now, not just a couple of hundred anymore. So yeah, people are really committing a lot of love and time into the game, which is great to see.
That is crazy. That's I mean, the last time we spoke about this, I think the highest level back then was 500 and something. I mean, that's over 1,000.
Yes,
I'm slacking. Holy. Thank you, Ultra Hawk. It says kudos to all the people in dev for working so hard. Thank you. Appreciate that kind of sentiment. You guys have to remember, these gentlemen, they often only see what's happening from their team, and what they see from the community is often the issues they're trying to resolve. So appreciate that kind of sentiment, my friend. Appreciate it. We'll get to some of your questions. There's some things we do want to get through here before we start bombarding them with our wants, our dreams, our hopes and desires. In the fishing game, of course, we'll keep it related. So, gentlemen, that was it. That was a huge patch. A huge patch that, we've been talking about it. I know you guys have been working on it for some time. It brought a lot to the game. And so many things that are just, I couldn't believe some of the stuff just as it caught my eye. Just right from the filters on the map, it looks so polished to the camera views and the Jeeps. And let's chat a little bit about that. There must have been some challenges in making this happen, for one, but
yeah, it's an interesting patch, because normally you have like one or two key features that you're focusing on for a patch, but this is a very broad patch. I don't think there's anything like huge inside the game that's game changing, but it's just the sheer number of things, as you mentioned, everything from vehicle cameras to the quick wheel to map changes to toggling to real, twitching and jigging buttons, etc. And yeah, the challenge with these sort of patches is just that you're having to test so broadly. There's so many little things you have to keep an eye on, and making sure each thing that's going in is kind of to the desired quality. But yeah, I think it's been a great update. Really pleased with the response in general. As Gaz mentioned, obviously we rolled out this hotfix just to address one or two stability issues that we introduced, but we're getting on top of them now, which is good to see. But yeah, I'm really pleased with this, because it means that we've kind of polished up a lot of the areas that we've been getting a lot of feedback. Because again, this is very much a community-driven one, where it's about like me and Gaz have been in spreadsheets tracking every single comment that you guys were making. Look at the ones which have been thumbed up most in Discord, making a list, and it's just kind of ticking off as many as we could in this update. And yes, of course, in the background we are working on bigger things as well. But yeah, we wanted to kind of do this patch and just do as many of the kind of community requests as possible in one go.
Well, you certainly packed them in there. Holy, there was a lot.
And just to add on to that point as well, we took one or two kinds of engine updates as well, and with doing that, we get things like performance upgrades and stuff, which a lot of players have noticed. They've had performance improvements, but with that, unfortunately, comes the risks where you could bump into issues like this performance drop one we've got at the minute. So it's game development. It's never easy. Unfortunately, these little things happen every now and then. But being able to have a community so in touch with us and speaking to us on a daily basis on Steam and Discord, we're really able to get down to the issues and fix them as quick as we can, and get hot fixes out so everyone can enjoy and play the game in a much better setting.
Yeah, and on that kind of performance topic as well, I mean, I'm a Steam Deck user, and it's one of those things when we launched Nowhere, we knew the performance wasn't fantastic, but you can get a significantly higher frame rate on higher quality settings now. So I think any of you guys who may have played the game pre-patch and haven't played it since. We're struggling with performance. I think we've made some really good improvements, and it's also just the start of these improvements performance as well. We have more plans to make, more savings to memory and other areas. So again, we can try and make the gameplay experience as smooth as possible for all PC users, not just the kind of medium spec upwards.
Look at you. What'd you get? What is it? It's a bronze.
Only a bronze,
nice.
but it's targeting the right things, which is pretty good. But actually, that wasn't necessary. It was a reasonably quick catch, but I've only got a 1.5 kilo line, and that was what 1.3, so it's not far from a limit. So I've got the right size hook and everything for my gear, but
Nice.
I might increase the hook size just to try a slightly tougher battle.
Yeah, I might pop one up as well. I got a silver there actually while we were chatting earlier. I have to stop because my jaw is dropping here. Look at this. You guys see the screen, what I'm showing right now? Wow. The reflection off the water. So I wanted to talk about the water improvements. You guys had the water improvements that came with the big patch. I don't know where we go from here. I don't think there's much else we can do. That looks amazing.
There's definitely improvements that we're still working on. I mean, this one in particular is the water tessellation update, whereby in proximity to you, the player, it's essentially there's more polygons, so the water's more detailed relative to you, so that you can see the individual ripples and movements of the water better, which we're really pleased with. And bizarrely, I think I commented on this when we were working on it in the past. It's like it looks better and it's more performant, which is awesome. But we definitely are working on some other elements of the water. Where we know that some of the SSR and planar reflections that we've got in the water could do with more improvements, and these are definitely areas that we're going to be kind of tweaking and tuning over time as well. But yeah, I mean, it's in a good place, but it's one of these just continual improvement and refinement to the game.
I dig it. I absolutely dig it. That looks fantastic. Just as you were saying that, I was moving around here, I'm jumping in the water, I'm seeing the ripples go out. Even off the line, it looks like there's a different, like as the line, like I'm jigging at the moment. And, you can see the little ripples coming off the end as it goes in and out. Kudos. Yeah. I dig that.
Yeah, we made a bunch of changes with the line and water interaction. So previously the line was actually causing deformation of water, which was a bit too excessive. So now it only does light ripples, and you can actually see the line beneath the water now, where previously you couldn't. So again, it's all these little touches that just really kind of add up to, to create a more authentic and better looking experience.
I love it. I absolutely love it. What did I just have there? Oh, I found myself a little souvenir on the ground. I got some snus. MD, how's it going? Welcome. Do the fish scream in this game? I'm into real. Do they scream? No, the fish don't scream. Could you imagine that? Jeez. In the game, that would be pretty cool. I can see that. I can see it. To the realism. Man, wow. So. I think everybody, I've even seen some comments through the community about the changes in the water, and I wanted to touch on that, but it was hard not to with the way the sun was beating down on it there. Man, I'm digging the new controls for the jigging and for the twitching. That's kind of nice, not having to. I realize I was doing it all wrong. It was hard to get the beat before, so this is certainly a lot easier than it was previously. I think people will appreciate that one. A little more accessibility, right? It makes it a little easier for some that aren't able.
And you don't have to use it. That's the thing. There's an option if you want to, have a little helping hand, and also, save your mouse wrist from aching too much and doing it for too long. And same with the reeling toggle as well. Just the ability to toggle on the reel rather than having to hold down reel all the time.
Yeah, I think we again, as mentioned before, there's people with hundreds and hundreds of hours of our game already. So some of them longer play sessions, if you're playing for 4 or 5 hours, it can be quite strenuous on your wrist when you're playing. So given any more options where we can make things a bit easier for players, that's always stuff we'd like to do.
Well, it's nice too when you're able to just push and hold the button. The rod's moving, but I'm looking ahead to where the water is rather than my whole screen going. So I think that's very popular. I think that'll be a very popular one. Good job.
Yeah, and you can even adjust the amount of movement of the camera now relative to the rod in the options. You can change the rod strength tracking, so you can have it so the rod is completely detached from the camera, or they can have the camera tracking the rod movement. So again, just make it tune it to your preference.
Okay. Okay. We swap. Oh, I have to change my hook size. Okay, I'll go a couple more like this. So, now there was other options. You were saying when your rod is out, if you push and hold C, you now have your wheel that comes up, my friends. This is pretty cool. Quick action, right? You can access your emotes, your different chat functions in game. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. So I'm pleased to see that in. Nice accessibility. Again, really, really helpful as well if you're on controller, which I tend to toggle between the two. Oh, you don't have to hold it. Oh, I've been holding it. I just realized that now. You learn something every day, my friends. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I wish other games would do that.
It's quite good because we already had the quick menu, which was the Q button. But in there, for example, when you were looking at quick chat, there's like quite a lot of messages, 20, 30 messages. So it was a lot to scan through. So we implemented this nice quick wheel just to essentially let players quickly choose the chat lines that they wanted to chat about, and also, you know, emotes as well. So you can quickly emote, you know, rather than going through the menu. So just more changes and updates and polishes to make the gameplay experience a little bit better.
As well as adding a few extra track lines and emotes as well, giving you a few more kind of communication options, and that's something we want to do more of in the future as well, by adding a few more ways to be able to talk in game to make it easier to kind of give each other tips about what's going on inside the game.
Definitely a big improvement. I love it. Hot dogs is the only chat command you need. Wilson. Thank you, Gyps. It's good to see you. Welcome. I've missed so much chat, and I apologize, my friends, but we haven't been able to get these gentlemen out because they've been busy, as you guys have seen the updates and the patch that's followed. So I just wanted to get through some of this stuff here. By all means, if you have the questions, it's, you know, if you're on Twitch, highlight them, put them into if you're on YouTube, just throw them out there, and we'll try and get through some of them. A few more things I want to touch on, though. Now, I don't mean to bounce around too much, but I'm not sure how much time we have. There was an ask from the community, and it's a question that's been coming up, and well, folks are inquiring about anything else on the legendary fish to come to Norway. I know they're obviously looking for a date. That's something hard to do, but how's the development coming with them? They're very popular on Golden Ridge Reserve. Like, it's a weekly occurrence that you see everybody in Discord going wild, and they're biting at the bit, so to speak. Anything you fine gentlemen could tell us about the legendaries coming to Norway?
Well, it's been fun to obviously watch everyone and Golden Ridge try and hunt them down, and the fact that obviously they're not in the same place each week, so it's a new challenge every single time. But yeah, we've had our designers working on this as kind of the next priority for us, and I believe we've got all three of the new legendary fish all kind of set up now with all of their new traits, because legendary fish all need to be unique. So they're all ready, and I think we've just about finished setting up all the hideouts, as we call them, for where the legendary fish spawn. So it's in that phase now where we are tweaking, tuning, balancing, and yeah, it's not a million miles away. Obviously, we've got more to do than just the actual design side. There's the art side and the finishing modeling those fish, making sure they stand out compared to the other fish. We get the animation and everything rigged up. But yeah, we're in a good position. I'm looking forward to rolling them out because yeah, I think we've got 3 good legendary fish coming up. I think we named them all in the last one. I don't have the names off the top of my head. I said we'd try and get Ben on to try and talk about some of the lore and history before we launch them. So we should try and do that.
It feels like we'd be spoiling it for Ben if we didn't allow him to want to do that. So we'll get him on a stream soon.
Oh yeah,
he can give you the updates on that type of stuff. But yeah, they're coming along really well, and hopefully not too far in the future we'll be able to see them in game.
It's exciting. It's exciting. Honestly, it's one of my favorite things is to watch Discord go off, trying to find the fish, watch them all come together. But once they find the legendary, I mean, it's go time. And you start seeing them all appearing, getting posted, and who got what. And oh man.
Yeah, they struggle this week though, because we only had only two were caught until people were asking for little, well, not spoilers, but little hints and tips about where they were. So Discord need to step up the game a little bit, I think.
Yeah, and it's going to be harder when it comes to Norway because you're going to have 2 legendary fish each week to try and find one of each reserve active at a time. So you'll have double the workload.
Oh my. That's something I think a lot of folks maybe have not considered. That should be fun. Which one do you go for? Which do you do? Mind you, having said that, if the community happens to find one, then you can focus your attention on the other. It's always a thing. That is a thing. Okay, so I know we're probably running out of time with you gentlemen. Is there anything else you guys would really like to touch on that, because we'd like to take advantage of these opportunities? Like I know there was a lot of things that got addressed in that got added in that big patch, and then the hot fix, with the stability performance, you made the changes to the jig and the twitching buttons, and of course, again, folks, if you're having any FPS issues, there are places within Steam and within the Discord that you can lend your information to help get through it. But is there anything else you guys would like to touch on? Putting you on the spot.
I'm trying to think whether or not we talk about any of the hints towards what else is going to be coming next. Could be not obviously not a full spoiler cast sort of thing, but we have mentioned that we wanted to increase the range of hair options for you guys. I know you wanted facial hair and those type of things, and these are areas that we're busy working on right now, so you can customize your character a little further.
Tell me more.
Yeah. Well, we are specifically modeling the beard after you, Jaxy. So
JaxyBeard. It's I mean, they've been asking for it for almost as long as they've been asking for a deck chair, so a folding deck chair. We need to implement it at some point. But yeah, as Rushy mentioned, that our awesome character artists and coders are working on getting these things implemented, and we've got to get them all in and skins and getting them look good. So there's still plenty of work to go on them, but maybe in the not too distant future, we should be able to get them in game and give people more options, so they can either look like their desired character or look like Jaxy and have a lovely, awesome beard as well. So
oh wow, oh amazing.
Yeah, and we've been listening to the concerns as well about a couple of exploits that we've seen within the community as well. Trying to use underpowered gear to catch bigger fish by catching them right beneath you, essentially by your feet. And we're obviously seeing players getting some higher scores than you probably should get for the duration of the fight. So we're working on some areas that will improve those exploits, and I think it's going to be a big, no, I wouldn't call it a big change, but it's going to, I think, improve the overall fishing experience as well, because it adds a kind of final phase where you've actually got to do something now to secure the catch at the end. So we're busy working on that. That's in the kind of final stages of balancing, because there's a lot of kind of edge cases and things we need to test for with that, but that's come along nicely as well. And again, that's all been driven by the fact that you guys are quite competitive, and obviously we're king of the catch. People are trying to get the highest scores, so we're trying to make sure that people can't cheese it or cheat it anymore.
Very good. I know that'll be appreciated. I appreciate that. I'm sure the community absolutely will. And then there was a few other things. I know we're running short on time, but explain to me the Rumble progress. I was very interested when I read that one.
Yes, that's something I'm hoping to get my hands on by the end of the week, in terms of like getting into a dev build. Not going to be in a live build anytime soon. But yeah, we're in a place now where it's functioning in game. We're attaching it to a variety of effects and things inside the game, focusing around the fishing experience first and foremost. Cool. We want to make sure you can feel, the low splash in the water, or the fish nibbling on the line. You get a little detour through, but it's one of those things that takes quite a little bit of balancing, making sure we've got the right selection of options to give you the ability to tune things a little bit to how you want it. But yeah, I think it's going to be a nice additive experience. I personally prefer to play on a pad when I can, or on Steam Deck, which I often play on. So it's going to be really nice to have that extra kind of tactile feedback added.
That'll get me on it steady, I'll tell you right now. I love that kind of immersion. I mean, I'm a mouse and keyboard guy, but I love to kick back with a gamepad in my hand, relax, put my feet up. I got a comfy chair. I'd like to take advantage of it. To have that kind of Rumble support, that's amazing. Wow. I was excited about that. I couldn't wait to ask. So beautiful. Beautiful. Well, gentlemen, we've hit that half-hour mark. I know you guys are super busy and you're pushing really hard on that patch, on the fixes and such. But thank you, seriously. I mean that from the bottom of my bearded heart. It is always a pleasure to have you gentlemen out here. Is there anything you guys would like to put out? Any?
No.
No, I think you know, there's a couple of, we don't want to say too much because we don't want to kind of say things that are in development, but we know it's still going to take a little bit of time. But as Rushy mentioned, there's one or two things that are getting closer with each day, as well as working on these hot fixes and normal patches. You know, that's just a couple of team members sometimes, and the rest of the team are working on some of the bigger features to come into the game. As mentioned before, more communication things. I know people have been asking for, you know, essentially more chat options, a text chat as such. So we're working away at that. We've had some good progress on that. So there's going to be ways of communicating, and I think that will especially help new players as well who join the game, because although Discord and Steam are amazing sources of information for the game, I think players just who are new to the game being able to ask in the chat will help them, and that'll help you know, new players on board and stuff, which I think would be cool. And also when your friends are playing as well, you can just, and also make friends, you can just spam people messages. So I think that'll be a really good community feature to get in, and something that we've wanted to offer for a while. So we're kind of working away on that. One or two other things that we maybe shouldn't talk about too much now, but you know, people have asked about different ways of fishing in the future and stuff, and you know, we're working on things like that as well. So there's plenty to come this year, but we don't want to say too many things just yet. But as soon as we do, we'll try and show off some of the things. You know what I'm like is when I'm on stream, I'll spoil everything most of the time anyway. When it comes,
I totally set you up there. Marketing was freaking out. They're like, "What are you doing, Jaxy?"
Too much, guys. Yeah, but no, we like talking about things that we're working on, but we don't want to talk too much about them until they're in a good place. And maybe there's going to be times where we, rather than jump on the live build, we'll jump on a build which is in development, which might be cool, and we can kind of show people a little bit of one or two of the new things we're working on. So yeah, plenty of things going forward, but yeah, we're just hard at work on more features really, and there's always something to polish and something to improve and something to fix. So yeah, it's all gone.
Yeah. And I guess final thing for me is just, yeah, thanks for all the feedback. It's proven, you know, extremely useful. Again, please help us with this you know, performance stall that we're seeing in some instances. If you are experiencing it, tell us the details in Discord about your PC and the settings you're using in the game. That will really help us get to the bottom of this, so we can get a hotfix out as soon as possible for those affected. And if you are enjoying the game, we'd love for you to leave a review on Steam as well. It makes such a big difference to visibility of the game for us. So if you are enjoying it, just take a few minutes. Just you don't have to write much. You can just say, "I'm enjoying the game." That'd be much appreciated.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and as mentioned before, we've got a lot of new players recently. So if you're not aware of it already, you know, jump onto Discord. We've got an awesome community there. There's game suggestions channels where you can vote and, you know, say what things you'd like to see in the game. And there's also obviously a bug report and then just a general chat with other community members. But it's a really good source of getting your point across and things that you'd like to see in the game. Rushy and myself are always in there, keeping an eye on the most voted for things and seeing what the community wants. Because although we have a bunch of ideas that we want to implement to the game as developers, it's good to know kind of priorities and what the biggest features are that the community want right now. So it really is a sort of team effort between the dev team and the community to keep improving the game as much as we can and as often as we can. So yeah, come and get on board and say hello and get involved.
The power of Discord. Fantastic, gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming to join us. It is always a pleasure. I know that all of our viewers in the community love seeing you guys out as much as I love hanging out. So thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thanks. Awesome. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure. Speak soon.
Right on. Okay, my friends. Well, we're going to carry on and we're going to do a little bit of our own fish. Pow. I really need a stinger for that. Let's see. Are we a little glowy? We're not too bad. We're not too bad. That was a lot of fun. I was really, really pleased to get them both out here today. We've had a lot of fun the last couple of weeks. We've been out and we've been fishing. They've literally been let's fish. And it's been a good time. But, when we can get our devs out, especially Rushy and Gaz, who are, they're very instrumental. Well, everybody's instrumental. I can't even leave anybody out because, we've had so many good folks out here. But being able to talk about the patch, there's a big value there. And, you have time to get a little leak on what's coming. So I've missed so much chat. I'm so sorry. I'm going to try and get caught up on things now. And we'll see what we can do. So what Soundwider looked at, since half the people couldn't catch it or crashed on landing it, we weren't seeing issues to that extent. But if you do have some, please report them. There was some issues for some folks, but all in all, it was more to the point. A lot of people had a hard time getting their hooks up to them. I actually wanted to jump into that myself this week. Never had a chance. Interpreting Gaz's bolt. Nice. Any news on console? Nothing concrete to give you yet. All we can tell you is what we've been saying is it is fully in development. I know that they're advancing. They're advancing quite a bit because I've seen a lot of chatter through the company about it. It's a big focus. There is literally dedicated members of the team that do nothing but work on that. So it is coming along. The way that generally works is as soon as they have something that they can offer, like a proper date or some proper information, or even exactly, like say even a quarter, which quarter this year it's coming out, then they will do so. And we'll get that messaging out right away. Believe me, everybody here at the company wants to be able to put a date, to put pen to paper and say it's coming at this point. We truly, truly do. We want everybody on it. It's going to be cross-play. It's going to be a freaking blast. We're out there right now and you get to see so many folks when you're on these reserves, but being able to jump in with your friends that are on console, if you're playing on PC, I have a lot of friends that only play on console. And so it would be an opportunity for us to get together. Man, I only haven't had a ton of luck here. I think I'm going to try and change my setup. Right now I'm set up mostly for silvers. So we're going to pop in here. I'm going to move over to, this might be the lucky rock. Mark this rock. Mark this rock, my friends. This is where Rushy himself is fishing, I have a feeling. Oh my goodness. Yes, adaptive triggers would be fantastic. So, Isaiah, that's kind of what I was like leaning towards when I saw the Rumble progress. I was like, oh man, this is coming to us. This is because of console development, right? And, we have gamepad support, but clearly I saw that as a precursor possibly to basic triggers. That would be insane. I would absolutely love that, having that. I know that they've talked about that in the past, and everything's a possibility at one point or another, but I just felt like that was maybe leading down the right path. Okay, let's kind of drops off nicely here. First off, now I have not, that was literally my first I'd ever caught. So let's take a look at these eyes. Haven't done much here on Norway yet, man. I have so much to do, man. Okay, cheese bread and red worm, and I'm here. I'm using. Oh, maybe I saw that. This is why he's on the float. He's on the float. Not too bad, but all I've got is a silver on this scuff. I've spent all my time on Golden Ridge, and I haven't had a chance to get on Norway. I'd love some community. It's an opportunity to go up with the community. It would be a lot of fun. Catch rate is almost non-existent now on which, Gypsis? Just on fish overall? Because I've had some decent luck myself on the streams. Not so much here today. I've only had the one. It's not crazy like it was before, right? We're gonna try one more. I caught that one on a constant. I'm using a jigging setup, but I find, a little hybrid as we go sometimes works. We're going to try one more reel in, see what's happened. See what we can do with it. You think there's a problem with the jigging button? It never says jigging when you use it. Can't seem to catch anything on it. Well, let's, I've been using it here, and it goes to jigging. For me, it is working. If you want to put that into the Discord forums, and maybe with a little video or a screenshot showing, video would be best. I know they like that. Because this is a new feature, right? There's always possibilities of things needing tweaking for sure. You got to bite every time you do it manually, though. Okay. I have a hard time going between the jigging and the twitching. I often get twitching. Let's see what we can do here. Get the volume up a little. Doesn't tell me my volume's down so far. The button works for you since the hot fix. Okay. Gotcha. All right, let's go in here. I'm gonna take a look. I need to change my hook size. So if I go to a 2, I can use a large. Now, this kind of limits me a little, but if Rushy was telling me the truth, there could very well be a monster lurking in these depths. I see things jumping everywhere. It's giving me a hard time. All right, let's go ahead and turn that down. Jaxy, I've reinstalled game and started a profile again. Any advice how to start and get up the levels? Wheels, what's up, brother? What's up? I gotta tell you, man. So, I recently, when I was sick the last time, I spent a good bit of time just getting into the game. One thing with my position is I don't have a lot of time to play our games. That's changing, and I'll talk about that in the upcoming future here. But I had some time, and I did spend some time with it. You know, for new players, one of the best ways to get after this, in my opinion, is to start with the quests. Go around. If you're on Golden Ridge Reserve, which I feel is maybe a little more beginner-friendly, you could certainly go to Norway first, but I feel that from what I've seen and my experiences thus far, Golden Ridge seems to be a good place to start. Do the Golden Tour. It'll take you around and unlock the whole map, and then start doing the fish missions. Now, be aware when you're doing the missions, you're gonna have like golds and stuff thrown at you. When you go back to those locations at a later date and time, it might not be the best spot. So, with the help of the community, though, you'll soon learn the really, really good spots. But just doing that and getting after it and getting on them is that's probably the quickest way. I did that until I found a catch of my choice. And I don't know, man. I think I'm a sucker. I just sat there and I went hard. And I was catching fish after fish. I was working the mastery on some of my setups and hitting the levels. Because when I'm sure most of you know this by now, but to make credits in the game, it happens on level, but it also happens at the 25, the 50, and the 75% through level marks. You'll notice you get some credits. I know that seems confusing to some at first. They think, well, but I just caught a fish. I released it and I didn't get paid. So that's why. So there's different options, and I think it comes down to more your play style. Do you want to grind it out, or do you want to kind of learn the map, and you'll make XP just as fast that way. Going through those missions is huge for getting started. Only kind of jiggles on manual. Don't mind you. Sometimes it gets. Yeah, I get that, Gypsis. For sure. Yeah, we'll have to look into that, my friend, for sure. Oh, your son's teacher is calling. Oh, good luck. Good luck. Okay, let's get the jig going here. Yeah, now we are just at one of the lakes that I know, I've been told, are quite good for the eye. In fact, I do believe, if memory serves me correct, most of these guys here, you should have some luck. I'm tempted to move down one. Who we got here? VV's. Foxy Mare. What up, Foxy Mare? How you doing, my friend? If you're watching the stream. I love the multiplayer. This is cool seeing the people out and about in the world. Have to admit, catch rate is less than it was before. Indeed. Oh yes, absolutely. There were some adjustments made. It was at a point. Hey, Lock 20, what's up? Welcome. How we doing over in that dock there, man? See if you have some more luck than I did. When the game first came out, there were balances that needed to be done. People were slaying diamonds like it ain't no thing. That has been adjusted. The catch rates that you're going to find just on golds and such has also been adjusted. It's about finding that right balance, and if you've got some passion and voice about it, let us know in the Discord, because they're always looking to make sure that they hit it just right. They don't want you to sit for hours like you could do IRL fishing, but they also don't want you to just got one. You know what I mean? That would take some of the fun out of it. Sortie console? Sortie? Are you asking when console? We did touch base on that just a little bit earlier. We don't have a solid date. It's fully in development. And anybody that's within the gaming industry would understand. I did not before coming to work for the company. Development can be the reason they don't like to give a date per se is until they know that they'll be able to deliver on that. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. First, they don't want to make any broken promises. But as testing happens, oh, you got an Arctic char there, nice. As testing happens, things can come up. So if you say it's coming out January 1st, and then you don't make January 1st, and you can't exactly explain to everybody the reason why something failed, right? So that's the reason why they haven't been able to say this date. We try to put out there as much as possible. We are working very hard to get it to console. We really, really are. It's two completely separate developments, although it's the same client, and we'll all get to play together. They're very, very different platforms to work with, and each console, including PC, has its own challenges. I've been seeing that unfold on both of our titles. I see that happening. So they're passionate, and they want to be able to say it's coming this date, but they can't. What I can tell you is the goal is very most definitely this year, but I don't even have a month for you, my friends. I'm wish I did. I wish I did. We'll keep you up to date as much as we can. The best bet is, of course, to be in our gaming groups. Steam and Discord are by far the most active, and to follow on the socials, because everything gets posted on those socials. Come on, man. We're not having much luck with this here. We'll get on the jigging. We changed our setup, and I've only caught the one so far, man. One. Very good balance is what's needed. What up, Luke Tweety? Yeah, absolutely. I think 30 means launch. Okay, gotcha. I'm sorry. I'm just a redneck Canadian, but I can barely English. I always admire folks who can speak multiple languages. I really, truly, truly do. But yeah, without Google Translate at my command, yeah, we're working on that launch. We are close enough. Attaboy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Wheels, give it a go. Let me know how you do, buddy. Let me know how you do. This game, seeing it unfold the way it is, and seeing the players grow and seeing the communities grow and being a part of it from ground one, I've learned a lot. I've learned an awful lot. But ultimately, what it comes down to for me with the angler is the different fishing that I don't get to do. Like, I can tell you, the fish that I've like. Everything from, we had the salmon runs where I grew up, and we did a lot of kokanee up at our cabin. I've been sturgeon fishing. I've been halibut, by far my favorite. Although sturgeon's just so bloody expensive. Steelhead, there's a lot of options that can definitely come to the game. You heard the folks talking. You actually heard, I think it was Gaz mentioned, I don't know if he was supposed to, the different fishing techniques that they're working on. I'm thinking that's alluding to things like the much requested bottom fishing, the much requested fly fishing. That'll open up more species as well, right? What's that? You only fish you're after the lake trouts. By far my favorite fish over on Golden Ridge. Yeah, pike being a close second, but yeah, I love those lake trout. They are beasts. 1387 kilogram, not bad. Yeah, Vincent, as I've been saying, it's very much planned and very much in development. Yeah. Yeah, so fun times right now, my friends. As you heard them say, they're working on another hot patch to work on those FPS issues. I know not everybody is being affected by it, but if one person's affected, you can see how it affects them. Like, there's pride in their project. They want these things to turn out. I'm going to, I don't know, if I'm going to go to the other side of the lake, I could change my setup one more go. These guys are tough, man. How have you guys been doing with King of the Catch this week? Hey, is this proving to be a bit of a difficult target? It's kind of fun watching King of the Catch unfold. And informational, it really shows the team catch rates and what people are able to do and get out there. Wasn't the intention, when I put together King of the Catch. It's just a fun competition to keep everybody involved in the community. If you're not involved, it's a weekly competition that runs from Friday to Friday, and you get some big bragging rights. You really do. I almost feel like we need a Discord role attached to it. Oh wait, we have one. Maybe we'll get a badge with it. That would be kind of a cool thing. But there's tons of bragging rights with it, and seeing our most passionate anglers out there, what they're doing with it, it always makes me want to go drop my damn line in the water. You know? Like the new lure system, but it's frustrating you don't have enough storage space. That's been a talk as well. Tackle boxes, increasing the size, or maybe backpacks, things like that. They've talked to our devs have talked about that when they've been out here, and I've seen the chatter about it. A lot of it comes down to they want that quality experience, right? When something's not quite up to snuff for the community, well, that's when the community, lets them know and such, and they do. Lend your voice to Discord. I can't state this enough. Those forums, they are so powerful. And don't just go in and make a post. Go in and see. What I like to do is I like to go through, because I'm always upvoting things once that I really want to. I go in and I check, okay, which ones have the most upvotes? I just scroll down, and when I see one, I go in, I check it out. And then I go back to the top and I go through all the new ones, right? I like to sort through. I like to see, what's already out there. Now, were I a player at that point, then I would put a post in. We noticed this over on the Hunter Discord. What's happening a lot right now is they're being split. Someone makes the post and someone else makes a post. Then what ends up happening is it gets split and it doesn't look like as big of a thing, right? What up, Echo? How you doing, my friend? I see I haven't been able to hit an angler stream or a hunter stream in a while, but hope you're doing good, because I do remember you saying you got sick a while back. Yeah, I had some struggles for a little bit. That was mostly last summer, but some things persisted. And then, of course, the regular cold and flu season that the kids like to bring home. We taught our kids to share. Right? We like to try and be those model parents. Yeah, so they share everything, including what they bring home from school. But yeah, no, we're good, man. Thank you very much. It's exciting times at Expansive Worlds these days. We got a lot on the go, and it all seems to happen around the same time, for both of our games. So it's great. We got some new faces now with us as well. You'll see them around the community, and they're great peeps. Actually, it's nice when you just get along, right? And where that can lead and what that can do. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting them involved and letting you guys to meet them all and stuff. Do you see there's some new people? What happened to Meg? Meg's still with us. Meg is with us. Yes, Meg does a lot. Meg does a lot. She puts together a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. She's one of our unsung heroes. There's so many folks that you guys don't get to see. I would love to be able to, rotate through streams and bring some of them out just to give them some love. There's so many moving parts that go into any video game. We have 2. We have 3, but we have 2 that are really, like we've got the Hunter that is, by far, and it's the most popular in the genre. And then we have our fledgling, our baby, that's being brought to the masses, that you see it seems to change so much. There's so much being added, and that is, of course, the angler. I truly think that this is going to become the go-to fishing game. We saw it happen with the Hunter. Passionate devs, passionate community. It's the rest is fluff, and it's just a matter of time till the fluff gets sewn in. You know what I'm saying? Classic's fantastic. Classic is it just such a solid game. I don't think it'll ever die, to be honest. It's so well put together. Now that it's free to play, absolutely. Is Albert still with the company? No, Albert is not. Albert had an opportunity to chase a dream, to a game that he plays regularly. Good dude, Albert. Good dude. I actually haven't talked to him just a little bit, but we were keeping in touch. He did a lot for the community. He came in with a lot of passion and helped us at a time that was crazy. It was crazy. So yeah, it's like with any company, there's always going to be turnover. Albert was a good guy. He made his mark while he was here, but yeah, he chased the dream. He chased the dream, and I'm happy for him. You got to do these things, right? You got to. I mean, it's like if you're a mechanic and you get a job working for GM, but man, you freaking love Hyundai. Okay, this is maybe not the best example, but if that were the case, you got an opportunity to go to Hyundai, you should go to Hyundai. Yeah, shock factor there. That's not the best example. Good for him. I think you chase your dream is what I am chasing my dream. I am chasing my dream. My dream is adjusting. In the coming weeks, I'll talk a little more about it. I'm staying here for sure. I am fully indentured in all that I do with this community. Just my role's changing a little. Still a CM, still doing what I'm doing, but times and stuffs are moving around. And what I get to focus on and stuff. It's exciting. It's good. It's all for the good. So still doing streams, still with the community and all that. Just more stuff on the back end. Guess at least it wasn't a donut this week. I know, man, a lot. Well, I mean, it wasn't a donut the last 3 weeks. We've been doing pretty good, but this week not so great. Although the last couple weeks, it's we're going for this, and I've caught everything else. You know, like when we went for the Arctic Char, I caught one that stream, but we caught just a ton of everything else. And yeah, I'm not, man. You know, it is what it is. I'm on a setup that should be doing me proud, but unfortunately, it's just not flying for me today. An ETM with the anger release on console, we have absolutely touched base on that. I hate to be a broken record, but no ETA, no messaging as of yet, because it's fully in development. But we're shooting for, you know, obviously this year. Just when I can't throw anything out there. I don't have it. I'd be talking out. See if you know what I'm saying. and that's the problem, is that you don't know when these things are in development. You don't know. Because there's so much that needs to be done, and how long is this portion of the team going to take on this, and this portion of the team take on that. But we will certainly, as soon as we do know, as we keep saying, we will tell you. But all we can say, and this should be the exciting stuff, is development is going really well. In fact, we talked about a few of the things here today, one of them being the Rumble progress. I think that's, this is my thoughts, but seeing that's being worked on, and it's a little ways out, they said, I think that is largely to do with the progress happening with the console development. To get Rumble support on our gamepads here on PC has me excited. It's immersive that way, right? I love to hit my gamepad up when I'm kicking back, you know, and I relax. In this game, it just, to me, it's so nice. It works so well with the sticks. You know, I really quite enjoyed that. I don't mind the mouse and keyboard. I do my streams with mouse and keyboard because of easy access, and I can, you know, boom, boom, move around. What's that? Oh, I love it. Yeah, me too, RB. Me too, brother. Absolutely. There should be an aquarium in the Angler. That's a big ask. Some sort of a way to display our trophies, right? And that's a big one. And that's one we definitely want to see happen. It would be like an aquarium or a trophy lodge, or, you know, like when I say a trophy lodge, it could just be a lodge where we've got plaques mounted, you know, and how they go about it. And that's something that has strongly being considered. I can neither confirm nor deny which way that'll go, but it's one of the biggest asks from the community. And we've seen how these things go. Community's been asking for things, and these devs have been on it, man. You know, one of the trickier ones, I'll give you an example. When the game first came out, there were a lot of folks that weren't happy with the views from the Jeep, right? They weren't happy with the views from the Jeep. So the team actually started working on this some time ago. It's not an easy thing to do, but the what we just had come out, and I should have actually had my Jeep here, but I could have jumped in. I think it's V that you push. You can toggle your views. You've got other options now. That's pretty cool. So that's a perfect example of the community speaks, the devs listen. So when it comes to aquariums, I mean, or something of the ilk, I think it's pretty safe to say. You would think, yeah, Rumble to be working before console. You wouldn't have to have Rumble support, I suppose, for it to come out on console, but I felt the same thing as Zuby. I did. That's where my head went right away, because I know the development's coming along well. I've seen a lot of the chatter, and I know that like Rushy's, he's very involved in the testing, and you know, we've heard a little bit about that. He's kind of dropped little nuggets about that on our streams. So I would say that you know, that the Rumble is that's where it stems from, right? Hey, we're all entitled to opinion, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that. We'll change that opinion. Give us some time. We'll change that opinion. You know, it was the same with the Hunter. The Hunter came out. Look at it now, right? Well, I've been playing almost since launch. I didn't buy it at launch because, well, truthfully, it had some issues. It needed things resolved. I got it about just shy of 6 months of it being out when they had done a lot of that and played, and Medved came out and console got in it was about a year later. And it was a lot of fun, man. And seeing how that changed is by far the best hunting game on the market, man. And there's other good ones out there, absolutely. But in my humbly bearded opinion, it's what brought me to where I am and what I like to do. I'm in love with it, and I've fallen in love with the angler. But you know, I'm biased. I see the development, I see the passion, the people that are working on it. It's definitely it's moved in the right direction. Tons have happened to this, man. I know, right, Hangster? It's wild. It's wild. Starting as a player in the Hunter, waiting to go on a hunting trip. I was waiting 2 weeks. I was biting at the bit. I'm like, screw it. I'm gonna pick this game up. I need something to tide me over. That's how I got into the Hunter. And my buddies were telling me I needed to make videos. I started making videos. The channel blew up over on YouTube. Moved to Twitch. Started doing streams for Classic and for Call of the Wild, the Hunter. That got me the job. And it's a job opened. I got in, and I've never looked back. And to get involved with the angler right from launch, to see it happen like this, like, man, have you guys done the before and after? Right? Like I talked about it earlier. Look at the water now. Right? Look at the water, the reflections, the ripples. Can I put my line or my rod in? No, hold on. I thought this was cool. Seeing the, oh, is that too deep? The ripples. Like we didn't have that before. Yeah, watching it all come to fruition, baby. It's pretty damn cool. Yeah, good games. There's a lot of great fishing options. I played them all. I played them all. Didn't like some of the pay-to-win structure, but there was another option. So, you know, there's good and bad with everything, with our games, with other games, and I love the outdoor digital space. I think there's so many great options out there. And these are things that our devs all take into account on both games. You know, just like the devs on those games do as well. When you start to see similar things that have been successful from us make it to those. And you'll see that the other way around. It's a small market. It's based off of a real world practices and sports. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool to watch it all grow. We need more people in the genres. We were a niche. It's growing. Oh my goodness, is it growing? And it's such a pleasure. And I hope you guys feel the same, to be a part of and to go along for the ride. We always run over. These streams aren't long enough. I actually really want to change locations. You know, before we go, we've talked a little bit about this, and there is some insights that have been given. There is populations within the water bodies, and you can overfish them. Some will have bigger fish, some will have smaller fish. If you're not on the right setup to where you are, part of it could be user error, part of it could just be time of day, part of it could be too many people that fish those areas. Your spawns, your population is your own. You know, no one else can affect or scare it away per se, but you absolutely can. So it's interesting. It's interesting. A stick of dynamite or a shotgun, absolutely. Yeah, a dual sense adapter trigger would be awesome, man. Would be awesome. Man, if I could choose a location of the next reserve, what would it be? Okay, I thought it was really cool to come to Norway, and I'm waiting for time to be able to go out and explore more of these mountains. I've really only been on, I was down over here fishing, but I have yet to even get up to here. So I definitely want to check that out. I think I'd like something. Well, there's lots I'd like to see in North America and Europe, but I think I'd like something different. Put me in a jungle, put me somewhere tropical, put me in Iceland, put me somewhere, something that's not really done. And I don't know what that would be. I'd have to really think on that. You know, some deep sea fishing would be cool. We talked about that the other week, some marlins and stuff. I'd love to get somewhere like, you know, Mediterranean with the crystal blue water, right? Can I go stand on the shores of Crete? You know, what can I pull out there? I have no idea. I have no idea what I could catch there. So I would have to do some research before I'd answer that one accurately. But I think what I would like is, you know, my fishing IRL, I never considered it limited. You know, until I really got into the different fishing games and realized just how many fish I have never caught, let alone eaten. So I think I'd really like more opportunities to do stuff out and about that I haven't been able to before. Seeing a beautiful vista like this in a game, take in that Norway ASMR before we leave. What would this be like in Peru, off the coast of Italy, Gold Coast down in Australia? Possibilities are endless. And you, the community, have a chance to help shape this. You've seen how involved these devs are. It's very unique. It's very unique. Get your voices heard. Make sure to come and join us in Discord. We're in the Steam forums. We're across Reddit. You can find us absolutely everywhere. Discord's unique in the sense that we have so many eyes on it and in there with the forums and what we're able to do with it. Lend your voice, my friends. Make sure to follow us across all those platforms. If you're new here, hit the follow button on Twitch. Smash that subscribe over on YouTube. And do it with a couple hands if you gotta. My name's Jaxy. Thank you for hanging out. We'll catch you guys next week. We got a lot happening, so come and check it out. We're live on Tuesday. We're live on Tuesday with something really big. And we're back here on Wednesday for actually some really fun times. I really need to get going on one of these legendary days. Seriously, I want to catch a legendary with you guys. Thank you, my friends. We'll catch you soon.